what's up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome to, or welcome back to my channel. This is really late for this video to go out. It's really late, but I have seen quite a few people that I'm subscribed to putting it out in July, even though this is like the later part of July, but that's all well and good, okay? At least I'm making a video. I almost fear that when I'm done filming this, I will not remember how to open up Final Cut Pro, and this will not see the light of day because I have somehow forgotten the language of editing. So if this is rambly, you'll know why. Okay, we're doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So what it is, slew of questions to kind of help assess and summarize your reading year. These are going to be the normal set of questions. I do not remember who the original person that created this tag is because it was from so long ago, but I did add on questions myself. Okay, the hardest question, everybody says it, and I'm going to say it. Why in the world is question number 1 your best book so far of 2025? That's targeted. That's targeted cruelty, I dare say.
I feel very attacked!
Relax.
But I do have a definitive answer. Sunrise on the Reaping, without a doubt. Literally, look at my shirt. Look at my shirt. I created a month-long readathon completely based on this book. But yeah, it's going on right now, and it is a great time. Also, the merch is available in the description if you want to check it out. I changed everything to on-demand, so now you won't have to wait to get things because I didn't realize when you do it in batches, you have to wait for a long time. So if you were wanting to get something, now's a good time. So this is absolutely the best book I've read, but I would also have to give it up to the girls for Don't Let the... Why am I looking at that cover? Little known fact about me, I say sarcastically, is this kind of stuff, the rips of the layers, terrifies me. It's so disgusting and I can't look at it. But this book, let me just do this because editing me is also going to hate myself. Look at the tabs. Isn't that great? That's what we want to look at. This book is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's so good. It's so well written. It's a YA. And I gave it 5 stars. In what universe? Are you joking? It's like well, I didn't tell you what this is about. If I need to tell you what this is about, we've got bigger problems. This is about 2 boys, Thomas and Andrew, and one of them writes stories about monsters like coming to life and like trying to kill like a prince that is in love with like I can't remember who the other character is, but anyway, whatever. So there's one that writes the stories, and then the other one, Thomas, draws the monsters. Now the problem is these drawings and stories are coming to life, and they have to go and kill these monsters before it kills them. Yeah, and it's so gay. It's so gay, and the writing is phenomenal. I'm not going in order with these questions which makes no sense because I literally was like, why in the world do I have to answer best book first? I don't have to. But I did. I'm going to go out of order because this also fills the question of favorite new author. This is the only thing I've read by them, and I believe this is a debut. And their second book, Hawthorne, I believe, is either coming out very soon or is already out. I actually don't know, but I'll be reading that to determine whether or not this is a new favorite author. But as of right now, with their debut, wildly successful to me. Speaking of already holding the book, so we might as well talk about it, is best sequel. Are you joking? The Hunger Games came out how long ago? And this is a prequel. Do you understand? A prequel in which we already saw a lot of this story in Catching Fire. This is Haymitch's Games. Suzanne Collins is a literal genius because not only did she tell that story, but there's so much more that's going on that you had no idea that actually ties back in and is not something that she didn't think about before. Because we watched Mockingjay Part 1 last night, and tell me why. Okay, this will be if you know, you think, but Haymitch is like, tells Katniss like, oh, it's hard to be the Mockingjay, or it's like, it's asks a lot of you, I would know. And I was like, I'm sorry, Suzanne, have you been working on this the whole time? Were you building this lore and we just didn't know? Because crazy behavior. Worst book is actually 2 DNFs, but one I got 5 hours into, and that is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I really truly think that y'all are pranking me. I truly think that y'all are all collectively deciding to lie and say that you like this book. Because I cannot begin to understand. I'm so sorry. Reading is subjective. But what?
I said what I said,
As
and
always.
I'm not changing on it, okay? I said what I said. It ain't changing over here.
And then also, The Housemaid's Secret, I DNF'd at 27% of the way in because I just found a lot of the things problematic. I loved The Housemaid. I don't remember the author being just brushing up against problematic stuff constantly, but in The Housemaid's Secret, yeah, it was a hard pass. And then I watched a video, Ashley's Little Library, watched a video on what happens in it, and God bless her for making that, because I did want to know what happened in the end, but I didn't want to have to put myself through the hell of getting there. Next is the best reread, which I think I added in, but anyway, you're not going to be shocked. It's Bunny by Mona Awad. Now you might be asking yourself, oh my God, Katie, like you finally finished it? Or like, oh, like I thought that you had put it down. Oh, I did. I read 208 pages, and then I put it down when I received this, which is We Love You, Bunny by Mona Awad, which is the prequel sequel to this book. So I did that, read this, and then I went back to the beginning, and now I'm on page 230. So it's a little bit of a cheat because I haven't finished it yet, but bro, this is one of the best books I've ever read in my freaking life. Now I understand if you don't like it, because this is a book that forces you to make mind maps of like characters and what things mean and what's going on. It's very complex, and that, you know, can get very convoluted. It is very convoluted, but listen, I love it, okay? It's basically, just imagine if you took Heathers and it was written by Stephen King on acid. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Did I give this 5 stars? Well, no, but it's not out yet. I literally can't say anything. And then we have a new release I haven't read yet, but want to. One, because my library doesn't have it, and then the one other library that does have it says that I need to verify my card, but then won't let me verify my card. And honestly, rude. Honestly, homophobic.
Bruh.
I'm just kidding. But that is House of Beth. I forget the author's name. This might be a debut. I'm not totally sure. But I heard some of my friends who are currently reading it saying that if you like Bunny, this might be one for you. And honestly, say less. I would love to read it. It came out July 15th, so it is a very, 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 very new release. And then the other one, I can't believe I haven't read yet, because this is mean on my part, I feel, and that is John Wiswell's Wearing the Lion. He is the sweetest, kindest, most generous, humble, adorable man that has ever graced this earth. And me not having read it expeditiously is a hate crime. Joking. Books that I'm most excited to come out in the second half of the year will be no surprise. I honestly got so excited just answering this question, like writing it down. And that is, of course, the 5th book called The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman in the Thursday Murder Club series. If you read the first book and you were like, oh, it's like 3.5, oh, okay. Yeah, I did that too. Read book 2. Read book 2. It's so freaking good. Like, this one is so good too. When I went back and read it, I was like, oh my God, I was crazy. That's a 4.5. That's amazing. Book 2, oh, you're off to the races, baby. You will be hooked. I'm literally, trust me. And also, the chapters are so short, which is amazing. But then also the audiobook narrator, flawless. So there's no bad way to go about this. But this is about a group of, what do they call that? Octogenarians or something like that. Anyway, retirees, and they meet up every Thursday in the puzzle room to solve crimes. Now, it starts as cold cases, but things rapidly start going wrong in their retirement community, and people are dropping like flies, and they have to figure it out. And they are the most unassuming badasses. Like, it's really a story of like dismissing the elderly and assuming that they can't or won't or not capable of a lot of things. And this book, it will make you laugh. It will make you cry. Maybe not this one, but you know, if you know, it'll make you cry. It'll make you smile. It's so good. Okay. Yeah. This one's coming out September 25th. And then I have the 3rd book in Assistance to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, which will be Accomplice to the Villain. This comes out August 25th. This is about Evie. Well, for starters, you should know that this originally started as a TikTok series when this author was really depressed, and that was the one thing that was kind of like motivating her, and it got so popular that she got a 3-book deal. She's not an author. Well, I mean, she is now, but that's crazy. And I honestly love it. Like, is it the most well thought out, well written books of all time? No, nobody's saying that. Nobody is saying that. But they're so fun. They're so fun. I love it. And I love this trope, okay? So we have Evie, who is not mindless, but a unobservantly optimistic to a fault character. It was very chipper, very cheery, which we all know is always like hiding something underneath. But she is down on her luck and she needs money. And she stumbles across the villain, which, yeah, it is so tropey. They literally just call him the villain. Stumbles upon the villain, and the villain is like, you were not that bad, actually. Like, I thought I would hate you, but like, you're kind of endearing. I don't know. And he hires her to be his secretary. And of course, you know, she was his assistant, and then she moves on up to his apprentice, and now she, in the third one, is going to be his accomplice. And it's a love story. And I love stupid stuff like that. For the biggest surprise of the year, I'm definitely going to have to give it up to The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones for a multitude of reasons. One, I've never given a Stephen Graham Jones book 5 stars, and I've wanted to. So that is an actual lie. I gave My Heart as the Chainsaw. I'm sorry, Stephen Graham Jones. I know you're watching, and I'm sorry. I did give one of your books 5 stars. My Heart is a Chainsaw. This is embarrassing. And I'm not going to cut it out because I'm a human and I make mistakes. You heard it here first. Okay. What is it? To err as human? I said I was going to ramble. And I surely am. Okay. The Buffalo Hunter. I was so close to DNFing it. So much of the time in the first fourth of the book. In the first fourth, I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't really get it. And then there's so many names and the characters have so many names. And I'm just like culturally not unbound. I'm confused, okay? Which makes sense because I'm a little freaking white Western girl and this is obviously not that. And I just needed to really sit in it to understand. But when I tell you when it clicked. 30, I think, % in, I was like, oh my God, wait. Oh. And when I tell you that I cried. This was one of the most well-written historical horror. Actually, it's the most well-written historical horror I've ever read. Like Stephen Graham Jones, he put his whole writing ussy into this book. Like, wow. So yeah, biggest surprise for sure. I forgot to say that The Buffalo Hunter is like a vampire novel where it's following the massacre of Native Americans because the, Europeans are coming in and slaughtering them and stealing their land. Cool. But this is more of a vampire novel, not in like hunger and lust. No, it's you are what you eat. And that part of the book was so masterful to me, like masterfully done. The next question is biggest disappointment. I've got a list, okay? I've got a list. It's literally too many for me to remember all of them. And these are actually disappointments because I went into them with the expectation that they would get 5 stars, okay? The first of which, and the craziest of which, being The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Or is it Laney Fargo? Does anybody know? Anyway, The Favorites, I thought it was incredibly boring. And I really, truly cannot stand the trope of someone okay. I'm not going to tell you what these are about because I don't care, and I'm just going to assume that you don't care. And if you do, sucks to suck. So the next is Powerless by Elsie Silver. It was okay. And I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. But after reading Heartless and giving it 5 stars, I'm now very concerned that maybe that it was just a one and done. That could be true. I don't know. But I was very disappointed by that. So here's the thing. I really enjoyed this one. Look at that. There's tabs. I really enjoyed this, okay? I enjoyed this. But here's the thing. I feel as though I don't care anymore. And that's sad because Magnolia Parks, the first one, is a glowing 6-star. So this is sad. Next is newest fictional crush. And I know for the past few years, I've said Stoker from Veronica Speedwell, but she didn't put out a book this year. And if you wonder if I'm bitter, I am, but I do have a new fictional crush that's actually somebody else. Jonah? Jonah! I love him so much. I literally, like, every time that he's on page, I'm just like highlighting it and putting hearts around it. And I'm like, I love him. He's so sweet. Oh my God. And here's the thing. I already loved Jonah and Bunny, okay? But it wasn't until We Love You, Bunny that I realized how much I love Jonah. Because I just thought he was like, oh, cute little bean. Oh yeah. Now I'm rereading this. And oh my God, I literally have a tab for Jonah because I'm obsessed with him. I can't tell you what happens in this book. But just know there's no way you're not going to fall in love with Jonah. There's simply not a single way you will not fall head over heels for this boy. What is my favorite fictional couple? Let me be delusional for a second, okay? I want you to understand that when I say this couple, I know that it's not real. It's not canonically a thing, but hear me out. Haymitch and Effie. They're not a thing. They're not a thing canonically, but in the movies. But this reinvigorated my fanfic loving heart. The amount of Hayfie fanfiction I've read after reading this, they're an OTP. They're in my top 5. Again, I know I'm delusional. Talk to your therapist about it. Andrew and Thomas Rye. These gay boys, the gay pain, the gay panic is gorgeous. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. One of the tabs is literally just for their queer love. And you'll love it, unless you're homophobic. In which case, you still have to admit the writing is amazing. Yet another, I already have the book in my hand, so we might as well talk about it. Newest favorite fictional character, Maisley Donner. Maisley Donner. She drug every single person to absolute filth, especially Drusilla. When Drusilla's like, you don't know what it means to be a victor. You don't know what it's like. And Maisley, just calm and collected, does the slow turn and looks at her and goes, I might not know about that, but I know my grandma had a coat like yours and we wouldn't let her leave the house in it. What?
Pow.
For the question, a book that made you cry and a book that made you happy, allow me to introduce you to a broken record. Dun da da! Both, yeah. This book had me sobbing. This book also had me giddy, so giddy. Oh my God, I loved being back in this world so much. Now, is absolutely every single thing that happens in this heartbreaking? Yeah. Brutal? Messed up? Oh, categorically, yes. But I had such a good time, even when I was having terrible emotions. I just love The Hunger Games. Like, it's so good. If you've not read it, it holds up to read it as an adult. It's so good. Like, please give it a shot. I literally based like 2 months of planning this readathon and now doing nothing. I'm literally on sprints right now for this readathon. That's how good it is. So pick it up. If you haven't picked it up, it's so good. And I added a question of underrated gems that I discovered, but doesn't mean like I discovered these books as it goes for the internet, but things that I had not heard anybody talk about, and when I read it, was blown away. The first of which being Delilah S. Dawson's Guillotine. Now, I've previously really enjoyed Delilah S. Dawson. This was a cinematic society horror. Like, this needs to get made into a movie expeditiously. Like, what? This is like, it's very Get Out, actually, is a very good representation of what this book is. This is about an island where this super uber rich family lives, and our main character is a person of color, and they want to work as like an editor for this magazine, and the woman who owns the magazine, this old, rich, crusty, dusty white lady, conservative as hell, is the one who owns it. And our main character is like, I gotta get in there. I gotta get in. So she starts dating her grandson so that she can get invited to this island for their like summer vacation, okay? But when she gets there, something is strange. The staff are all wearing the exact same color. They do not speak. They don't make eye contact with you. And they're all people of color. Nice. So at one point, and it says this on the back, or on wherever the summary is, that the servants, slaves, is what they are, to be honest, decide that the only way that they can escape is to hunt and kill every member of this family. Oh, it punches. It punches. It's so good. Like, oh my God, I just ate this up. I read it so fast, and so can you. And the other one is Strange Houses by Uketsu. Now, this is something that I picked up, and I had never heard of this before, but my friend Amy, we were out of Barnes & Noble, and she was like, I really want to read this book. And I was like, we should buddy read it, actually. So we picked it up, and we put tabs on like, okay, we're going to get to this point, and then we're going to discuss. We're going to get to this point, and then we're going to discuss. I read this so fast. It's a Japanese mystery novel. It is translated, obviously. Now, I've seen a couple people read this in the last like month, but I read it before I saw any of that. So maybe this is getting more popular now, but this is like I believe four different houses where the floor plans are a little off, and he'll give you the floor plan. There's a bunch of pictures in this book. Gives you the floor plan and says, do you see anything weird about this? And I was like, no. And then he flipped the page and he's like, oh, you didn't notice this? And I'm like, no, I didn't notice that. And then you go through trying to figure out why these things are built into this floor plan. And there's a lot of like murder and stuff going on, you know? That's a really terrible explanation, but it was fun and I really liked it. I want you to see something, even though it's damn near out of frame. The last question, well, second to last, is the prettiest book that I have acquired so far in 2025. What is crazy is that they're all right next to each other. And I did not plan that. Okay, it's these three books right here. We have Ripe by Sarah Rose Etter. There's just something about this cover that is so aesthetic, but also creepy. And I'm obsessed. And with the font, like, it's so gross, but it's so beautiful. And then we have Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fietto. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. There's just every single little detail of this cover is perfect. It's perfect. The little like splatters of, I don't know, blood, whatever that is. It's just, and she has like a little cranberry crown thing. It's gorgeous. And then I don't even know what to say about this one. Knock Knock Open Wide by Neil Sharpson. This cover is crazy behavior. Did you see that? That's art. That is art. Who made this? Like, who? Because they better have gotten money. They better have made money. So for the actual last question, we have books that I want to prioritize reading before the end of 2025, one of which is absolutely happening, and it's happening on the 23rd of this month, if you want to join us on Patreon, is Strange Pictures by Uketsu, who is the same author as Strange Houses. And I'm going to do a similar thing where I tab like maybe every 20 pages, and what we're going to do is an all day, or however long it takes, reading sprint where maybe every 20 pages, we're going to be reading it at the same time, and I'm going to have a banner that says, currently reading page, I don't know, 60 to 80 or whatever. And then when the timer's done, no matter how fast you read, we won't do it very quickly, then we'll come back and we'll all discuss live what we think is going on, because we want to see if we can solve the mystery. So I have a bunch of friends that are joining me for this, and I'm really excited because two of them are like those kind of murder board people that like use the red string and are like deep diving into figuring out what's going on. So I can't wait to see what their reaction is to this. I am very excited. And oh my God, how many times am I gonna say it? How many times am I gonna say I need to read The Book with Most Precious Substance by Sarah Grant? I've said this so many times that I'm annoying myself, so I can only imagine how you feel. Actually, I should read this for the last leg of Sunrise on the Readathon, because this has less than 10,000 ratings, which is bizarre to me, because I feel like I hear people talk about this a lot. And while there are so many books, obviously, that I would love to read before the end of the year, these are the 4 I don't have my hands on yet, but I absolutely will be reading before the end of the year. And that is Wearing the Lion by, I almost said Simone St. Biles. What? Okay. That was like so bad it wasn't even embarrassing. That's how bad it was. Okay, sorry. Anyway, then we have House of Beth. I do not remember the author's name, so we're just going to say Simone St. Biles. Okay, cool. And then we have the 3rd in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Mayer, Accomplice to the Villain. And lastly, and possibly definitely the most anticipated, is The Impossible Fortune, which is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for the questions for the Midyear Book Freakout tag. If you also want to answer these questions in the comments down below, I will actually read them. I know, that's crazy, but I would love to know. That would be great. And also, let me know if you're participating in Sunrise on the Readathon, because it has been so fun so far. I need to wrap it up. I'm sweating. I almost did the outro, but first I want to say I do have a Patreon, and we do stuff constantly over there, so you should totally join us, and we're having a really fun time. So go, please enjoy. Follow me on Goodreads, follow me on Instagram. If you want merch, it's there. If you want bookmarks, link down below, all the stuff, whatnot. Okay, now we are actually going to go to the outro, which is, I hope you are all having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And I will see you in a video coming no. I'll see you whenever I make another video. Okay, bye.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less.